Welcome geometers to our last video of chapter 7, our last video on trigonometry, which is word problems. So we're going to use everything that we've learned so far to solve a few word problems. Sometimes we're going to be looking for angles, sometimes we're going to be looking for sides. The biggest key here is that you draw a picture. Drawing a picture and labeling it accurately will really help you solve the problem. So let's jump right in with example 1. A chairlift on a ski slope has an angle of elevation of 28 degrees and covers a total distance of 4,640 feet. To the nearest foot, what is the vertical height covered by the chairlift? Okay, so starting off, we have a chairlift on a ski slope. So if you've ever taken a chairlift, you get in this little chair, obviously, and it takes you up the mountain to then where you get off. So this is like our mountain, here's the ground. Mind you, this is not 100% accurate. It wouldn't be quite that angle, but we're just drawing a picture. So then it says angle of elevation of 28 degrees. That 28 degrees goes here. So on a little side note, anytime you're drawing one of these, it's going to be a right triangle. This angle here is the angle of elevation. Also, you might get the angle of depression. If they tell you the angle of depression, it also goes there. Okay, so back to our problem. Covers a total distance of 4,640 feet. Well, you need to think, which part of the right triangle is the chairlift actually taking people on? Well, it's on the hypotenuse. So this 4,640 goes here. And then to the nearest foot, what is the vertical height? So vertical is up and down, so this is what we are looking for. Now, since I know the angle, I'm going to be using trig here to find that other side. I have x, which is opposite, 4,640, which is hypotenuse. This little side that we don't know would be the adjacent side, but we don't know that, or we don't need that really. Okay, so if I have opposite and hypotenuse, that's going to be sine. So I have the sine of 28 degrees is equal to opposite, which is x, over hypotenuse, which is 4,640. Putting this over 1, I'm going to do my cross products. I get x equals 4,640 multiplied by the sine of 28. In this case, I find x to be 2,178.35 feet. So the chairlift covers a vertical height of 2,178.35 feet. So I need to ask myself, does this make sense? Well, considering that it's a leg of the right triangle, it should be less than 4,640, which it is, so that's good. My answer checks out. Okay, let's try the next one. It says you, and I don't know why it has that little semicolon. You are 50 feet from the screen at a drive-in movie. If the screen is 89 feet tall, what is the angle of elevation from your eye to the top of the screen? Okay, so you're at a drive-in movie. I can't draw cars very well, so I'm just going to draw us. So there's me. And then it says you're 50 feet from the screen. So I'm going to need the screen. So here's the screen. I don't know what I'm watching. I'm 50 feet from that screen. The screen is 89 feet tall. What is the angle of elevation from your eye to the top of the screen? Well, here's my eye. It's looking at the top of the screen. Here would be the angle of elevation. Again, angle of elevation, angle of depression are always going to go in the same spot. So anytime you hear those two terms, the angle should go in the same spot. Now, this is a right triangle. Okay, I'm still going to have to use trig. In this case, I'm solving for an angle, so it's going to be inverse trig. I have the opposite side, and I have the adjacent side. Opposite and adjacent is going to be tangent. So I have the tangent of angle x equals the opposite side, which is 89, over the adjacent side, which is 50. Now remember that tangent and x are in a very happy marriage. You can't just divide by tangent. You can't just kick tangent out of the marriage. You got to break them up. To do that, we have to use the inverse. So I'm going to take the inverse tangent on the left side and the inverse tangent on the right side. On the left side, that serves to just cancel out my tangents. So I have x equals the inverse tangent of 89 over 50. When I put that in my calculator, I get 60.67 degrees. Okay, so we got 2 more examples. Example 3 is one that you are going to do on your own. So right now, pause the video, complete example 3 on your own. Make sure you draw yourself a picture. This one's tricky, so try your best. Good luck. Okay, so let's see how we did. You throw a ball to your brother who catches the ball from the 3rd story of your house. So I'm going to draw that first. So here's me. I'm throwing a ball to my brother who catches the ball from the 3rd story. So maybe he's hanging out of the window or something, catching this ball. So there we go. You throw your brother the ball at an angle of 70 degrees. Okay, so that 70 is going to go here, and this is a right triangle. If you are standing 20 feet from the house, and you are 5 feet 4 inches, how high up is your brother? Okay, so I need to solve for this. Right now, that 5 feet 4 inches we don't need. That's extra information right now. We're going to need it eventually, but we don't need it right now. Now, x is my opposite side, 20 is my adjacent side. Opposite and adjacent means I'm going to use tangent. So I have the tangent of 70 degrees equals opposite, which is x, over adjacent, which is 20. This goes over 1, and I do cross products. I get x equals 20 multiplied by the tangent of 70. In this case, I find x to be 54.95 feet. Okay, now here's what I need to think. The question asks, how high up is your brother? I need to remember that when I threw the ball, it came from my hand and not from the ground. So if I'm 5 feet 4 inches, the ball started 5 feet 4 inches above the ground. So that 54.95 on our figure is right here. It doesn't account for this extra space between the ball and the ground. So when we are asking how high up is the brother, we need to account for this extra space between where the ball started and the ground, which is 5 feet 4 inches, my height. So I'm going to take 54.95 and I need to add 5 feet 4 inches. Oh, I'm sorry. This should be in feet. Okay, so 5 feet 4 inches, that needs to be in feet. So that's 5 feet. 4 inches is 4 out of 12 feet. If there's 12 inches in a foot, 4 out of 12 will tell us how many feet we have if we have 4 inches. When I add all that together, I get 60.28 feet. So again, just to reiterate, what I did is I found 54.95 feet. That's the distance from where I threw the ball to my brother, that vertical height, how high up he is. But it doesn't count for where the ball started in my hand to the ground. So I need to add the distance from where the ball started in my hand to the ground, which is that 5 feet 4 inches. That's how I got 60.28. Hopefully that went well for you, or you now understand it. If it did not, or you still don't understand it, please make sure you ask in class tomorrow. I'm going to try one more, so please try example number 4. Pause the video, complete it on your own, and come back when you are finished. Good luck! Okay, let's see how we did. You're using a ladder to paint the top of your chimney. If your chimney is 33 feet tall, and you place the foot of the ladder 3 feet from the wall, what angle will the ladder be making with the top of the chimney? Okay, so this one was a little bit tricky to draw a picture for. So if we're thinking about a chimney, I've got my nice little house here, and here's my chimney. I'm using a ladder to paint the top of it. So I have a ladder leaned up against the house like this to paint the chimney. It says the chimney is 33 feet tall, so that 33 is going to go here. 33 feet tall. And I place the foot of the ladder 3 feet from the wall. Well, that was a little misleading in my picture, but that's what it should look like. Here's the difficult part. What angle will the ladder be making with the top of the chimney? So the top of the chimney is up here. This is the angle that I'm looking for. So you may have mislabeled the angle, in which case you would have done the problem wrong. Because I have two sides and no angle, I'm going to be using inverse trig. Now, 3 feet is the opposite side, 33 is the adjacent side, so I'm going to be using tangent. I have the tangent of x equals opposite, which is 3, over adjacent, which is 33. Taking the inverse of both sides will help me get rid of the tangent. Tangent, or inverse tangent and tangent cancel. I get x equals the inverse tangent of 3 over 33. In this case, my angle ends up being 5.19 degrees. If you did get that, you might have thought, well, that doesn't seem right. But looking at our figure, that is correct. If I put in that angle right here, it's such a small angle because the opposite side is so small. 33 is much greater than 3 feet. So this angle here across from the 33 is going to be much bigger than the angle across from the 3 feet. So this is the correct answer. Good work if you got that right. If you mislabeled the figure and you got something like 984.81, you did the problem right, you just mislabeled the figure. So not a big deal. I would like you to please flip the page. You have one extra challenge problem to do. I'm going to help you draw the figure, but I'm not going to help you answer the question. So it says you are a block away from a skyscraper that is 780 feet tall. Okay, so let's start with that. So you got this big skyscraper that is 780 feet tall, and you are 1 block away. Your friend is between the skyscraper and yourself. So this is your friend. I don't know, label it with your best friend's name. The angle of elevation from your position to the top of the skyscraper is 42 degrees. The angle of elevation from your friend's position to the top of the skyscraper is 71 degrees. So the nearest foot, how far are you from your friend? Okay, so this is definitely trickier than what we did previously. I will let you know that you're going to need 2 equations. It's not a system, but you're not going to be able to solve for that question mark right away. Instead, you're going to have to find a different length and then solve for the question mark. When you come to class tomorrow, I expect to see some work that you tried this problem. If you get the answer correct, I will give you extra credit. If you do not try the problem at all, you will not receive full credit for the notes. So try your best. It may take you more than a minute. It may take you 5 or 10 minutes. But give yourself 10 minutes and see if you can figure out this problem. Good luck.